Hello, hello, hello. Hi, John. How are you? Where I was going. Here. Seems right. Ooh, what day is it gonna be? I am pretty good. My last vacation night. Tomorrow I still have the day off, but I'm gonna run into work for a little bit to meet some of the new English club members. Had D&D earlier. That was pretty fun. They never do what I'm expecting them to do. About how long is the whole process? Oh, I mean, step 1 of 5. So when will everything be finished? You know, one thing I've learned, I've DM'd for about 9 years now. Basically, if you say, hey, I will DM, people come out of the woodwork. But if you ever just try to find a group, it's impossible. Cool. Oh, so you'll be done in like a week? Or is it only on weekends? Oh, 3 months. Cool. I wish you the best of luck. This is like... I'm in a little bit of the same situation. I have my tests done for school and all of my applications submitted. And I'm just waiting to hear back from them now. But where I get into school will determine where I move and upend my whole life right now. So I'm in a weird limbo. How do I get out of here? Yeah. Got rejected from one school, but it was like the hardest of the 5 or 6 schools I applied to. I didn't really expect to get in there. So we'll see. Yep, and everything's already in, so now it's literally just waiting. I was playing Smash Bros earlier today, and it was really fun. Like, a bunch of new people came in, they saw me streaming, and they came to the arena, but most of them were from the States. And there's like half a second or so of input delay when you play somebody from that far, and it threw off everything I was trying to do. I'll be going to law school, so studying to be a lawyer. Still not entirely sure what my focus will be, but I would like to do something with environmental law. The area I was really interested in is a little bit more theoretical. And I mainly focused on intergenerational justice for my research in my undergrad. And that's looking at justice through a lens of far-removed generations and how to weigh the rights and duties of those generations against each other. But there's not much case law that courts have approved for that kind of legal analysis. So, probably can't pursue that full-time outside of research. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I can be stupid enough when I need to, but school-wise I'm okay. Neat. Yeah, it's pretty dense, a lot of it, and really boring. In intergenerational justice, one of the kind of first thought experiments that you go through when you're trying to analyze things, and this one's pretty simplistic, but yeah, lots of technical stuff, lots of Greek, and things mean very specific things, which can be annoying. But if you imagine this scenario, this hypothetical scenario, where there is this couple, a man and a woman, and they are going to have a child. In scenario A, the world has decided to switch to wind power. Purely wind power. And hypothetically, this wind power is entirely clean. We won't be causing any pollution. that future generations will have to deal with, that will harm future generations. But we aren't able to provide enough power for ourselves. On the other hand, in scenario B, we've decided to go with nuclear power. And in this hypothetical situation, the power is sufficient. We have enough power for everything we want to do, but we are producing nuclear waste. And this nuclear waste will represent some kind of harm to future generations. So, they will have to deal with it. We'll be doing something bad towards them. On the same night, in both of these scenarios, the couple is about to have sex and make a child. In the first scenario, the wind power scenario, as they're doing it, power goes off. They stop, go turn on the generator, and then go back to business. And 10 minutes later, they produce a child. The woman gets pregnant. In the other scenario, that blackout never happens. So that child is produced 10 minutes earlier. Those two children are going to be genetically unique. They are different people. And so one of the arguments goes, because in general, we say we should not harm others, if possible. If we are going to harm someone, then we should do as little harm as possible. And so in the second scenario, where we are harming the future through nuclear waste, the argument is that the child produced there cannot actually fault us for harming him or her. Because, except for our actions, that specific person would never have been born. And so, one branch of this thought, which I disagree with, is that future generations cannot truly hold the present generation at fault, because only through our actions do they exist in their reality. And so, looking at laws and different undertakings that countries do through an intergenerational lens, I think is really interesting. But it's pretty dorky. Sure, and there's a lot of different ways to analyze the back and forth there. The general counter-argument, which I personally subscribe to, is basically like campground rules, where we are the people that are here, so ultimately we have a right to the planet in a large scope, but this can also be applied to taxes and other things like that. We are stewards of the land and stewards of humanity, and so we should not cause undue burdens on ourselves, but we also should not cause excessive harm to future generations. So right now, there are a couple cases in the US that probably will get shot down, but are using this kind of analysis, mostly related to the environment. And a group of kids, when it started, it was about 10 years ago when they first started their case, have sued the US government for basically wanton and environmental destruction, and not taking into account the future generations that will be here in our economic pursuits. Or some of the questions become like, if we are both paying taxes now, and our generation decides to build a bridge, and we say that through taxes, the bridge will be paid off in 100 years, then essentially we've made a contract for future people that they have not had any consent to be involved in. And so, is it just to force a person into a contract when they have not consented? And where do we gain that authority from? You'd hope so. Not all the time. Or at least not in good faith. There's a slightly related one, and it's seen more... It's seen more exploration in European courts, but there have been people that have sued their parents for... so like wrongful death is when you would accidentally kill someone, typically through negligence or something like that. You don't have the intent to kill. But some people have brought forward cases about wrongful life. Typically, when the parents are informed that the child is going to have a severe deformity that will impact their quality of life or make them, suffer quite a bit, the child, after they're born with that disease, has sued their parents, saying it was inappropriate for you to bring me into the world, and you owe me for damages, for pain and suffering, basically. Which I don't know if I believe is a valid claim, but I think it's really interesting, the legal aspects of it. I think the response to the government having those acceptable impact surveys done, again, would be about how do we see the consent of future generations, or potential persons is what called the within the field. Like, if we're at a bar and I tell a guy, hey, you can go punch John in the face, but do it nicely, I've still caused someone to punch you in the face. And so I think some of the argument would be about, well, I guess it'd more be, I go up to a guy and tell him, hey, give me $10 and I'll let you punch John in the face. then it is a benefit for me. And maybe a light punch in the face is worth $10, and you would agree to that. But the issue would be that I haven't gotten consent from you to be part of this equation. Grabbed it, didn't I? It's just a not very talked about field, but I think it is going to be more important moving forward. Sure. And I mean that's essentially what the claims that claims that the kids have against the government. You thought what you were doing was a good thing, but we did not consent to this, and it is actively harming me, despite the benefit that you currently have. And basically, as stewards of future, you have not followed through with taking the path that would cause the least amount of harm to us, and therefore have done something wrong. Where are you? Hey Elias, how are you? Go. Oh. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of difficult issues with it. I tend to agree as well, but you do start to get into the kind of utopian or utilitarian dilemma then, where, you know, if I could create a city that would be perfect, except we have to horrifically torture one person within an inch of their life every single day, is that justified? To go back in here. And so it's a balance that you need to strike. I'm doing pretty well, Elias. It's my last day of break, so just enjoying the evening. Maybe I go in the elevator? So that's when you have to start kind of making qualifications for it. No. Can we make allowances for actively harming people versus doing something that has the potential to harm people, but would be more of a passive harm? And where's the line that we draw with that? Oh yeah, my undergrad advisor was one of the leading researchers in this area, and so I got to work with him on. I'm not Jewish, but for some reason I was put in charge of researching concepts of intergenerational justice in the Old Testament and the Torah. That's pretty fun. There was another class I took that was called Gay Literature, and it was really, really cool. Oh, this guy's creepy. And it was like looking at different books. From the earliest we read was 18th century? 19th century. Onwards. That eventually became more and more explicitly gay, but like Portrait of Dorian Gray and Maurice and a few older books where you couldn't really explicitly talk about homosexuality, how the characters would interact and how that affects the story and things like that. And it was always kind of funny. The professor, he was gay, and he was at the Stonewall protests and riots, and yeah, there was a lot of that. But in the class, it was mostly non-hetero people. And then there was myself and one other dude. And yeah, I don't have any issues or qualms about homosexuality or anything like that. And since I was like 10, most people thought I was gay when they met me. I got kind of used to it. But the professor kind of very quickly found out that him and I were straight, and he was definitely not comfortable with everything that was going on. So the professor would always make him and I do readings from the books and like stand up and make them dramatic as we were reading through. And don't want to miss this. Okay. And so the professor would make us read the lines together. And there was one play called A Torch Song Trilogy. It was really, really good. It was about a drag queen that falls in love with a Mormon guy who's married, and they start to have an affair. And at some point, they break up. The man says, you know, I need to stay with my family. I can't do this anymore. So the drag queen gets sad. Goes to a gay bar. Finds an anonymous person in the bathroom and takes his mind off things. And the line was like super explicit. It was like, okay, I want you to bend me over and have your way with me, but in much stronger words. Oop, shit. And I'm not squeamish, but saying that in front of a whole class was a little awkward for me. And super awkward for the other guy. Ooh. Yeah, it was something. No. Uh-oh. Could probably heal up Cloud. My favorite one, though, was like the school email was just like our last name and dot first initial at my school. And after the class was over, I got a random email from somebody. I didn't know who it was. And I kept reading it. And it said like, hey, my boyfriend, I think you're really cute, and I think you would get along well with my boyfriend and I. We were wondering if you'd like to join us for drinks, and maybe you could come back over to our place afterwards for some fun. And I naively was imagining that some girl was kind of into me and was inviting me for a strange three-way with her boyfriend. Till I got to the bottom of the email and realized that it had been a dude from my gay literature class who for some reason thought that was the proper way to invite someone to a three-way. It's not the worst way that I've been invited to a three-way. Was the strangest? No. I don't think I would want to be involved in that scenario if it were, you know, two dudes and a girl. Definitely don't want to be involved if it's just three guys. I don't know how much I could be smiling. Pushing back or not. I think I might be put in an uncomfortable situation. I thought the line was, think of the queen and smile. Yeah, I have a few friends that are in that in that community. And I have one friend that is a porn photographer, and you meet a lot of interesting people. I was at a gay club years ago. And I met a prostitute there. And she was a friend of a friend kind of thing. And she was super cool, super nice to talk to. I was there with my girlfriend, so I obviously wasn't looking to hang out with her. But I feel like I'll get all these in, and I don't really want to do it. It was kind of funny, that guy, yeah, I have a couple friends that, enjoyed trying to turn me to the other side. Like it could be useful. I have a friend who's very into it, and I think that's totally fine. You know, as long as everyone is consenting and happy, then more power to you. But he's also not very good with women, and he was trying to ask me, so... And this is when he was going on a first date. So, when do I ask her if she's into BDSM? Well, that probably doesn't need to be on the first date unless it's going very well. Like, well, yeah, but it's important that I ask. Yeah, but you could probably get to know her first. Yeah, I think it can be a good thing, and I've had first dates like that too, and it's been great. But I feel like if you are asking when to bring it up, it's not going to be coming out naturally. Yeah. In my more wild younger days, yeah, I've got stuff. it was interesting being involved in some of that while here because of the language issues. Like making sure that safe words and things like that were instantly understood is kind of a unique issue. Yeah. I'm pretty open about myself, but the D&D group that I'm with, some of them are a bit more than me. Get some Bria. Want Bloodsucker. Mm-hmm. I think that's generally the better way to do it. Okay. All these are pretty good. That. Crippling damage. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much like, yeah, it's super cool to know what you're into, fully support it, but don't, like, you gotta read the atmosphere. Damn it. Okay. I keep hitting the wrong button. I think the bigger issue for me is I just don't recognize if anything's going on. Okay. Fair bit of HP. Can actually add some stuff. Yep, pretty much. Doing that. Not really. That back. I could use poison at some point. Okay. Oh, there we go. I was out drinking with some friends, and ages ago, but the girl and I had gone back to her place because she lived nearby, and I thought I was just going to crash on her couch, and she had gotten into bed. She lived in a studio apartment, and she'd gotten into bed. I was getting ready to go lay on the couch, and she looked at me and just said, "Why are your pants still on?" Oh, okay, I picked up on that message loud and clear. That's fun. Men's bathroom. Here's the bathroom. The bathroom if you care. Room in the food court. Guessing. She was a very pretty Russian girl, and the accent made it very intriguing, but also slightly scary. Room. You don't happen to know where the bathroom is, do you? Oh wait, the 64th floor, huh? I still need to go... I feel like I've done worse than just knock over some chairs. There's Japanese TV show which I really like. I mostly hate Japanese TV, but this one is really good, called The Brave Yoshihiko. And it is like a super low budget, basically Dragon Quest parody. And I really love the humor that they have in it, but at one point they are doing the RPG thing where they wander into somebody's house, and the lady that lives there is like washing clothes or cooking something, and she just keeps doing the same thing over and over and over again. And then whenever they try to talk to her, she just repeats the same line over and over again. And so they decide to start rummaging through her closets and things, check if she has anything they can take, and then picking up and throwing all of the clay pots that she has around her house. While walking in a single file line. It's pretty fun. I think I saw the the first episode with subtitles on Vimeo. If you... I won't spoil anything, but as Yoshihiko, the main character, decides to leave his village on his quest, the first couple steps outside of his home are kind of beautiful. Oh, there we go. And then he slowly, pretty quickly actually, starts gathering up party members, and whenever a new person comes in, it plays like the Dragon Quest fanfare. Basically, as soon as he steps outside of his village, he runs into like a paper mache slime. And he is confused, like, what are you? Why are you here? And the slime says, well, every journey has to begin with me. So what are you talking about? Slime says, what do you mean, what am I talking about? Let's fight! And then the slime jumps into him. And he says, oh, why did you do that? Stop! And the slime looks back at him and says, how was that? That hurt, didn't it? Would you say about 1 HP's worth of pain? I really like how much they embrace the bad RPG tropes. Or they recruit a wizard who's kind of shitty. And his only spell is a pig nose spell that just lifts up your nose to make you look more like a pig. Says that he'll be super useful on the journey when everybody starts complaining, and then says, look, this is the only spell I can use now, but I'll learn more as we go. No, he's one of the main people. I've only watched 2 seasons of it, but the main cast stays the same so far. Yeah.
Leave. 7番街の被害報告が出ました。倒壊した家屋の数が暗いニュースは結構。え？他にないのか。では、7番プレートの再建計画について。古代種の協力が得られることになったからな。いえ、 だからといって再建しないわけには。
ネオミッドがあるよ。
約束の地に
Did a good job making him look like a demon.
ちょっと待ってください。我々はまだ約束の地の正体すら。北条博士。
検査結果は予想通りだ。純血種だった母親より数値は下がるが、古代種と呼んでも差し支えないだろう。
約束の地はいつ頃わかる？
その件で提案がある。自発的な協力を強制的に引き出す方法を試してみないか。大事な古代種だ。壊さないように最大限の注意を払う。
拷問なら、私に任せて。
戦場仕込みでよければ俺も手伝う。
In Japanese, he said, the professor said, like, not that we'll take care of her, but he said, so we don't break her. These guys so cartoonishly evil.
方法は任せる。ただし、母親の二の舞は許さんぞ。
ああ、それに関連して考えていることがある。つまり古代種の繁殖だ。古代種の男が見つかればいいが、望みは薄いだろう。ソルジャーあたりから始めようかと。もちろん S 式 G 式も試そうと思う。加えて目下私の興味は一種後輩にあってね。どうだろう、気になるだろう。
Get up there.
他になければプレジデント解散とする。待ってください。
匂うな。
どんな感じだ？
白衣の男を追う。そいつが科学部門統括の北条だ。
よっしゃ、うまくいったな。
まずエアリスの居場所だ。案内させよ
う。Bathroom. Can I go into the... Oh. Not. Kind of funny.
Masaka. だったら掛け合わせてみるか。どんな子供になるか。違う。まず吐かせないと。薬を使うか。壊れなければいいが。
行くぞ。
Can I make it in time? Good. Okay. could buy these. Useful too. Buy 3. Oh, so much of a difference. Still like 10%. Polaris. That is. Okay, that's what I was expecting. Before I move on, I'm going to use the restroom. Hello, hello, hello. I'm back. Only gone once in an hour. That's not too bad.
それよりも
動くな。
あ
聞こえなかったのか。
なんだね。
ここじゃなんだからよ。仲良く仲良く。
Can this thing shoot bullets? My friend just got back from Okinawa, and she brought me some souvenirs back in honor of my Mexican heritage. Found these bottles of tequila that are like, like masked wrestler themed. Hey, luchadores. I really like them, but since I'm gonna be moving in 3 or 4 months, I want to keep the bottles, but I don't really know how to keep them safely when I travel. See, I truly think that my Mexican heritage protects me from tequila. I've never had a bad night on tequila. Rum and red wine are what get me in trouble. Or sake. Or nihonshu, specifically, but that stuff makes me lose my memory after, like, even if I'm not drunk, just after 3 or 4 glasses of sake, I'm gone. What is this thing? Cthulhu? Half a bottle of tequila might do it, though. Oh. Okay. Ah, damn it. Ooh, okay. Okay. No, thank you. I have had Marmite and did not enjoy it. Ah, okay, so I punch now. Oh, that's cool. From... What? I do wish the dodge was better in this. So, try to steal again. Nice. Ah, okay. Uh-oh, what's it doing? Not for me. Just killed all those. Ah. This guy's kind of tough. Whoa, that brought him down. Uh-oh, Mako explosion doesn't sound good. Again. Yep. I sworn I changed that. On. There we go. There's a food that everybody loves here called natto, which is fermented soybeans, and it is the grossest thing. Ooh. Let me heal him. Oh. Why are you not healing? Oh. Why? Mix down. Oh. Okay. Regrowth. Uh-oh. Oh, so you've had natto before. I don't like the taste. What is happening? Ooh. Wow. Yeah, my host mom forced me to try it, and did not need it ever again after that. Right. Ah. Oh, cool. So close to killing this thing. Ah. Yep. Oh, got my limit. That should do it. You know, there's so many foods that I do enjoy. Why do I need to get used to eating something bad? Thank you, Elias. Oof. That was tough. Oh. Take a little rest. I was surprised that Horse was actually pretty good. And there's a cool chain of bars that I really like called Hanbei. And they're themed like 1930s to 1950s era. And like they play old music and they have old Japanese movie posters and a bunch of foods that you don't really get anymore because it was all like wartime foods when they didn't really have much. And they have something called inago-chan, which is like baked grasshoppers in a soy sauce marinade. They're actually really, really good. That's fair. Oh, right, these guys. Back here. Oh, ah, shit. Nice. Yeah, jellyfish by itself, I'm not hugely into. They have like a jellyfish cracker, though, that's not too bad. Yeah, that can be rough. A lot of stories from my trip to, to Thailand. One of the things... I don't know how to phrase this properly. So in supermarkets here, you can buy whale. And I personally don't really think you should be hunting whale. But, you know, Japan is Japan, and it's not something I would buy. But while I was living with a host family, they would like to put foods I didn't know in front of me and ask me what I thought of them. And I was... like, I had whale. They didn't tell me until I took a bite. But for how much shit Japan gets internationally for whale hunting, I expected it to taste better. Like, it was okay, but it wasn't worth as much international backlash as they get. That makes sense. Yeah, it was just like really oily and not as good as it could have been. I don't think I like this weapon for him. Oh boy. And shock troop. Okay. Let's get Tifa back up. I mean, that's fair. I'll try most things at least once. Oh, there's another one. Chakra. Draga. Oh. Oh. I didn't expect that to shoot out twisters. Yeah, I would try that. They're... I'm not good with spicy food, but even then, if it's something new, I'll at least try it. My students are always surprised that I've had snake, and I thought that was a pretty common one. But I guess not in Japan. Looks cool in this game. Here they have called Hotaru Ika. Literally firefly squid. And they're like bioluminescent squid. So during the early spring or late summer, I forget, you can go out to the ocean and you'll see the water is kind of lit up with the spawning. But they're a local delicacy here. And just taste like garbage. They're like this big, and so you just eat them whole, and they like squish and kind of pop when you eat them. Just good. The menus can be rough. At least for sushi, you can normally get by just asking for the chef special, the omakase. My goal behind me. Can I go that way? No. He's saying mom in Japanese. That's all that's important. By and large, people are pretty good-natured here. Even if you can't really communicate with them. This. Oh, yeah. The only annoying thing about that is, so in like Japanese classes, you'll basically learn conversational Japanese, and depending on who you're talking to, there's a humble form of Japanese and an honorific form, or an honorific form. And sometimes you use different words, like to eat is taberu, but to eat humbly is meishiagaru. Phrase, but you do study those, and at like a higher level you have to, but like for basic Japanese you mostly legit just learn conversational Japanese. But all of the shop staff, especially people on the phone, will use extremely polite Japanese, and it is so difficult to understand. I was having an issue with my internet a few years ago, because I'd moved, and I had been using cellular modem, but as soon as I moved, it got so slow, and so I called the company on hold for half an hour. Then I explained to them, I know how this works. I've checked. I think I'm out of your service area now. So, what can I do? Can I change internet? What should I do? And in very polite Japanese, they told me that they gave me like 10 tips to do. I could only understand half of them. I'd already done the other half. And it amounted to a lot of unplug the router, plug it back in, change where the router was. And it was like in total a 4-hour phone call that didn't amount to anything. And at the end, I got transferred to this old guy that spoke very casually, probably inappropriately, if like we were paying attention to the norms, but explained to him, my internet's not working well, I'm out of the service range, what can I do? And he said, oh, well, let's just change your plan over, it'll be cheaper, and then you'll get fiber, so it's much faster. We were done in 20 minutes. To make it honorific, though, the sentences also get a lot longer. And yeah, for certain things, I don't need to like translate in my head. I can just naturally speak now. But if it's really complicated stuff, I kind of have to follow along mentally. And Japanese is backwards from English, so I have to piece all of these things together. It's so much longer and polite. So much more energy to figure out. I do like Barrett. I don't know why they translated that as rat dog.
私たちの敵はシンラカンパニーじゃない。きっかけはシンラだけど、本当の敵他にいる。私どうにかして助けたい。みんなを、星を。エアリスは何を知ってるの？今は迷子みたい。動くほど道がわからなくなる。フィーラーが触れるたび、私のかけらが落ちていく。
One of my favorite movies, Pan's Labyrinth, the Guillermo del Toro movie. And when it first came out, I was in high school. And I went with a Mexican friend of mine. And he's grown up a lot. But back then he was kind of a dumbass. And we sat down and, like, speaks Spanish. He understands it perfectly. It's like the primary language in his house. And the movie started going, and the movie's all in Spanish. But he saw subtitles appear and started to throw a fit, saying, "Oh, Ryan, I don't want to sit here and read subtitles for 2 hours." Dude, just listen to what they're saying. You understand this. Oh, what's he doing here?
のご飯が美味しくてってそんな話してる場合じゃないっす。もうすぐ
今の何？爆発？
本気アバランチの作戦っす。混乱を起こしてプレジデントを狙うっていう。間に合わなかったな。今の爆破で警戒態勢に。
But you know, I've watched it enough to like, my Spanish isn't great, but I can understand most of it. But Spanish is weird to me because I just like learned it from listening to my family. And I was watching with a Japanese friend, and they only had Japanese subtitles on Netflix here. So it was weird trying to read through like World War or Spanish Civil War Spanish and then Japanese subtitles for it. Well, upgrade her weapon. I guess both of them. Okay. Power. All seem good. Works. It is not going to be pretty thing. With Bible stuff. Oh. This with something. Trade that one. Magic attack. Good. Okay. Yep. I always thought it was just really beautifully made.
とにかく屋上に向かえばいいんだよな。
北条が逃げ込んだエレベーターが使えるようだ。
Good. There haven't been too many movies that have like, legitimately freaked me out. But I took a class on Japanese horror movies. And there was one called Audition that just terrified me. I think because of my fear of needles. But it was super creepy.
エレベーターってこっちだったか？
そうだ。北条の匂いがまだ残ってる。
Boy. Barrett using me. Heal. But in general, I do really like horror movies. There's one horror comedy called Dale vs. Evil that I always recommend to my friends that don't like horror very much. Dumpling. I'll have to look it up.
何があったんだ？
ポットの中の子みんないなくなってる。
嫌な匂いがする。
In Tucker and Dale, it's
どうすんだよ。
kind of like the typical story of the hot co-eds go to the cabin in the woods and then the creepy hillbillies try to murder them. But it's kind of told from the reverse perspective, and the hillbillies just really want to be friends with them, but don't know the right way to talk to them and are shy. People keep accidentally dying.
頑張るね。私の出番。
Gonna do some damage?
これで跳ね返そう。
Ooh. These are hurting. Oh, does she not? Oh. Okay, well, I'll fix that. Okay, now we can switch back. That was much easier. Hope they become friends. The whole kind of series of events gets set off when the two hillbillies have decided they bought a cabin woods to turn into their vacation home, and they're just so excited to fix it up for themselves and have a place of their there's a lake around there. The co-eds go skinny dipping while the two hillbillies are out fishing. The hillbillies don't really want to say anything because they don't want to creep out the co-eds. Then one of the girls hits her head when she sees them and gets scared while she's diving. So they go rescue her. And they drag her into their boat. And they start yelling to the co-eds, "Hey, we've got your friend! We've got your friend!" Meaning we've saved her. But co-eds take that as a threat. Then start planning how to assault the hillbillies' vacation home. Okay. Oh. Now she can see him too? Oh, he's just there. really know what I'm watching.
哀れだな。受け入れろ。感動の再会だ。
Never seen it. I only saw the Spirits Within, as far as Final Fantasy movies go.
やはり仮説は正しかった。今度は期待を裏切らないでくれよ。
Hmm. Okay. Something here? I'll try to look it up. Creepy. I need to go further down to find my friends who are up on the 70th floor. Hmm. The Gundam anime that I really like, G Gundam, got a re-release a year or so ago. I was really considering buying it, but it was like $150. And I couldn't justify paying that much for that anime. Oh, sweet. Weird. I'd forgotten about the... Like, all the characters have amazing names, but I forgot that the one from the UK is named Gentle Chapman. Which I just love all the names in the show. Pretty much everything about it's pretty awesome. I think I've told you about it before, haven't I? It is the most wonderfully... So the premise is that rather than fighting wars... all the different countries in the world have created their own Gundams, and they just have a big Gundam tournament every 4 years or so to determine who is going to control the planet. But because it's made in Japan, Japan's Gundam is cool. It's like a stoic, kind of generic, oh, I'm strong, silent type kind of thing, called the Shining Gundam. But everybody else gets a wonderful treatment. Like, America's Gundam is a American football / boxer, piloted by a guy named Tibbety Crockett. Or Canada's is just Jack. For the Netherlands, it is literally a windmill with a head, arms, and legs. Which I showed Dats, and he was impressed with, I think. Spain's is kind of amazing. That is the Spanish Gundam, which I think is kind of beautiful. Australia's is literally a kangaroo. Like, in all the Gundams, this is the only Gundam series I've ever liked, just because it is so ridiculously not mean-spirited in its racism, but just kind of cluelessly racist, I guess is a better way to put it. I mean, I don't like that, man. Yes. Yeah. Oh no, I don't have wind. Do I? Could be bad. We're immune to that. Great. What am I? Oh, that did some more damage. One of my favorites that they have is for Mexico. They changed it to the Spike Gundam in English, but originally it was the Tequila Gundam. Not gonna be a fun fight. Okay. Oh, it's immune. Okay, got one. Oh. I think when that green thing is there, I can't hurt it. Or maybe I can. Yep. Little robots. Oh, oh boy. No wind. Dang. Aw. Okay. Not a great team combination for this. What's to do with these guys? Yes. Oh, and he doesn't even have his ranged weapon. Oh, no. Okay. Well, that might be good. Gonna be a pretty boring fight. Okay, let me get out of there, please. Oh, big burst. Oh, he. Oh, ah, damn. Come on. There we go. Finally.
これからどうする？まずティファとエアリスを見つける。それから屋上だ。どっかにエレベーターがあるんだろう。邪魔は入ったがやることは変わらねえ。さあ、行くぞ。扉がロックされたようだ。引き返す。
Weapon? Dinger. Not bad. Area. Okay. I'm fine with more. They're all connected. We go all the way down here again. Don't really do much for me though. Okay. Okay. Like more healing. Ice, I guess. Oh, okay. Oh, 13. Oh. Hmm.
やったね。
ナイス。
待ってて。私たちもそっち行くから。
Okay. Bad chunk of change. Get in there. Oh, I'm starting to get pretty tired. I'll let them tell me where I'm supposed to go next. Bed. Can't help it, I'm tired.
奴のことだ。都合のいいデータが。研究室って言ってたよね。さっき上で扉を見た気がする。行ってみる。
Okay.
手助けできないの。
うん、わかった。
俺たちはここで待ってる。
了解。
Change around my materia again. A little annoying. I think up here is rest point. Looks like anyway. Nope.
それよりティファは？え？平気だよ。
Am I crazy?
当てる。
You get to a rest point. Okay. Well, this looks like a good place to stop. And go to bed. I'm after chapter 6. 17 now. Thanks for hanging out. It was fun talking to you. And I will see you guys around later. Save. Cool. I will see everybody around.